we had kind of looked into real estate, but we weren't 100% sure, what direction we were going to take. We were honestly just super confused on the process, confused on how do we even get a loan. So we were honestly completely lost. I guess from the time that I got the course, which I think was January, February, we had closed on 6 units literally by April. Once we felt like we had learned, we were like, okay, that's actually easier than what we thought. And we have it all laid out step by step. So it was super easy to follow. We're probably going to cash flow, 2,000 or more on all 6 units total. I was able to shoot you a message, hey, what do you think of this property? And I know that you had a lot of experience with it. And so if you told me it was good, it gave me the confidence to move forward in the next process, right? Like put it under contract. But it was nice because you pushed me to finally put something under contract, because I was like, you know what, I'm going to invest money into this, and now I have to. If you just go in and you're like, I'm going to do it myself, and you're stubborn, and you're like, I'm going to save money and do it now, that is a poor thinker. Like for real though, you have to invest money so that you can learn the processes that actually save you money and make you a lot more income long term.
Awesome, Maverick. Well, thanks so much for joining and hopping on for a little Zoom testimonial. I really appreciate this. So
yeah,
where are you calling from right now?
So I'm calling from Greensboro, North Carolina, where I'm currently knocking doors for pest control.
Nice. Summer sales. I love it.
Yes, sir.
So Maverick, you joined the program, I guess about eight months ago or so. Tell me about your experience, about, getting started, what you learned, and kind of your process of how the program's been for you.
Yeah. So initially, when we first kind of got in contact, I knew that me and my business partner, Nick Nelson, we had kind of looked into real estate, but we weren't 100% sure, what direction we were going to take. We were honestly just super confused on the process, confused on how do we even get a loan. So we were honestly completely lost. And then we got in contact with you, and then you kind of enlightened us on just like a few of the little processes, I guess you'd call it, on the way to get just a mortgage loan. But that's when we kind of decided, we were like, we should probably get the course so that we can know the process in each step in order to buy something. That way we can save money long term, because that was honestly our goal. Was we knew that if we'd invested money before we bought the real estate, we'd probably end up saving money or making the difference from the real estate that we bought. So it had that little value there that we were able to kind of make on later. What it helped us with was, first, didn't even know how to analyze a property. So I literally was watching the videos right after. Immediately, I'm one of those guys though that when I buy something like a video, I'm watching it, especially if I spent money on it, I'm gonna invest in it. I was super excited to get through it. I watched all the videos through first, and then I would go and I'd do each step. So then I looked how to analyze a property. I then start practicing that. And that's when I started to reach out to you and sending you the properties that I was analyzing, and asking you, what do you think of this property? And then I think I was sending a little bit too many, but it was nice because you pushed me to finally put something under contract, which was nice. So then after I got something under contract, then it was like, I was looking back at the videos. Okay, now I have something under contract. What's the next step? So then I'd look at the next step. Spoke with a mortgage, or I was already, speaking with an agent and a loan officer and getting all that process going. But then once we finally closed on it, which was super nice, I was able to look at the video to make sure that the closing docs that I was signing wasn't just going to absolutely screw me. I was paying attention to the balloon payments and everything that you had in there. That way I'd kind of gain that knowledge. That way I don't get screwed over long term. So then after I finally closed, I was able to fill the tenants. So that one was super important. And I know I was kind of speaking to you earlier before the call about how the biggest variable is not being able to fill the tenants at the price that you want. But it was really nice because in one of those videos that you had, you talked about putting it on the Facebook Marketplace. Well, I feel that that's exactly what we would have missed if we didn't buy the course. That made up for the money that we spent on the course, because we put it on Facebook Marketplace for top dollar. Like literally what we were like, this is the most that we could even fathom getting. And I'm telling you, I was getting like 10 to 15 messages a day for that exact price. And so we went ahead, we filled it up super quickly, which was super nice. And then immediately after we filled them up, I'm then looking through the management process. Like, what are the first steps that I need to do when opening up a new property? I put the lock box on the back fence. I put the keys in there. That way, when I was away during the summer, which I knew I would be, I was able to manage it, like from a distance, which was super nice to have that process, or else it would have just been like paint splatter on the wall. Like it would have been bad. So then after we bought the fourplex, immediately after, I felt really comfortable at that point. So I went in, we got a duplex. So, I guess from the time that I got the course, which I think was January, February, we had closed on 6 units literally by April.
Wow,
and both those, yeah.
About 3 months is all. It's about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it was quick. Just because we felt comfortable, like we felt like we had the ability to watch the videos, learn about the process before getting into it. Once we felt like we had learned, we were like, okay, that's actually easier than what we thought. And we have it all laid out step by step. So it was super easy to follow. So now, with the rents that are raised, we're probably going to cash flow, 2,000 or more on all 6 units total. So, and that's just within, 3 to 6 months, which was awesome.
That's so cool. So a few months right before we met, you were like, kind of interested in real estate, and you went from that position to understanding exactly how to do it, having some clarity on the process. And it sounds like it's a very easy process for you to follow, to go out, apply things, and take action right away. Yeah. And I guess in a matter of, 4 months till you bought the properties, a couple tenants, I guess, had leases that you couldn't raise right away. But once you get those raised, it sounds like you said September, they'll be totally raised up to.
Yeah, it'll be raised 300 in each unit. So we're cash flowing. Currently, we're cash flowing 250, but once they sign their new leases, it'll be another 600 on top of that. So about 850.
So tell me a little bit about your experience as far as like coaching calls and myself being available. Like, how was your experience with me in the coaching?
It went really well. That's honestly what made me feel the most comfortable, because I knew I wasn't just going to shoot in the dark. I was able to shoot you a message. Hey, what do you think of this property? And I know that you had a lot of experience with it. And so if, you told me it was good, it gave me the confidence to move forward in the next process, right? Like put it under contract. So, and then once you put it under contract, honestly, there's a lot of properties out there that are, they can be turned into good cash flow. So I think a lot of it honestly has to do with the management, which we also learned in the course. That's a whole nother story, but
the magic of the management, right? Like when you know what to charge, every extra dollar you can charge in rent is straight profit.
Yeah. And it just fixes itself at that point. You could buy a bad property with the right management. I'm like, you're still going to cash flow on it. Yeah. So you definitely need some sort of process. It saves you money, because if you just go in and you're like, I'm going to do it myself, and you're stubborn and you're like, I'm going to save money and do it now, that is a poor thinker. Like for real though. Like because you have to invest money so that you can learn the processes that actually save you money and make you a lot more income long term. Yeah. And so I knew that that's the way that I looked at it. And I feel like a smart business person would want to look at it like that, a smart investor, because you are dealing with big loans. Like you want to make sure that you're doing it the right way. You don't want to lose money. Yeah,
no, absolutely. So for you in your situation, how long do you think it took for the course to pay for itself?
Oh, I feel like it was immediately once we put, something under contract, and I knew it wasn't a bad property. Like I knew I was going to cash flow on it. When I put it under contract, I knew it was going to cash flow. I just didn't know how much.
Yeah. Well, a combination of, helping you get started faster, helping you negotiate on the property, helping you, get the right amount of rents, like everything, I think just kind of adds up. And yeah, I know I'm so thankful for my mentor. I would have literally never gotten started without my mentor. So I think having a mentor is critical.
Oh, it helps you push over the edge, because you're always going to say, yeah, I plan on getting into real estate. That's what everyone always says. Yeah, I plan on getting into real estate, like everyone in the world is just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll get into real estate.
And they never
You're
do.
like, you actually, like, at some point you actually have to get into real estate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just tiptoeing. So also it was nice because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna invest money into this, and now I have to.